All right, we're back. We're back. Apologies for the delay. I just need to finish the tweet, and then we're good to go. It's finally back after a few days off. I think the last stream was Thursday, so almost a week. We are back, and it is time once again for some more Formula One action. Enjoyed a few days away from Formula One. I kind of been grinding it a lot, so I just wanted to take a step back, you know what I mean? So we're back into it now, and it's time for our F2 season. We're going to do our driver career tonight, and that is round 5, and that's Austria. That's the Austrian circuit for round number 5. So we're going to get underway there. Let's need to finish the tweet. Tweet was sent. There we go. We're good to go. We just need to check one final thing. One final thing. And I think we're good. All right, so we are ready for Austria. Now this is our F2 season, so we're going to try to squeeze the whole weekend in today. But notice again, rain in the feature race, rain in the sprint race as well. So it's going to be quite a rainy session here tonight. We're going to begin with practice. I think we're going to run a few laps, not too many though. I mean, it's going to be, I don't think it's going to be particularly very dry. We do want to check the weather at least when we get in there, right? So that at the very minimum is we're going to check the weather. So we need to do obviously the program. So practice is dry all the way through pretty much. No issue there. I'm pretty sure it's going to be dry all the way through. We have exact weathering on for our driver career. Of course, my team career has the approximate weather. So it's a bit more dynamic, or at least variable, I should say. It's still just as dynamic. But yeah, it is going to be dry all the way through.
We have a number of practice programs to run. It'll be very beneficial for the team if we do these.
Shut up,
This
Jeff.
is the only session remaining to do them, so let's get on that pronto.
Yeah. So anyway, qualifying looks the same. All things considered, looks pretty dry all the way through. Not too worried about qualifying, although the clouds move in at the end of the session, but that's nothing to worry about. Then here's the feature race. Light rain. It's light rain for the first 15 minutes. So we are going to be on
screen
inters.
On your multifunction display will allow you to
and
change
then
various settings as you drive. Open the display with the MFD button. You can then navigate up and down to the setting you want to change.
Interesting. Depends on when it's going to dry out. What kind of tires we're going to be, or if it's going to be a 2-stopper or a 3-stopper. Really, like that's, I think, really going to be the interesting thing. Because if it dries like right away, yeah, it might be a 2-stopper. But still, nonetheless, light rain to start for the feature race, and then about 15 to 30 minutes in, it will open up. Heavy rain to start the sprint race, switching over to light rain 5 to 10 minutes in, of course. So I had to be careful with that. So and then it dries, and then it just completely dries out 15 to 30 minutes into the race, and then it's blistering sun. Look at the degrees, the difference in degrees: 26 for the air, up to 31. So you know, towards the end of the sprint race. So really variable weather for the sprint race. Interestingly enough, so it's going to be a crazy weekend. I know that. We are going to load our Austria setup, and we are going to get ready to go. So we've got track acclimatization, we've got tire management, we've got race strategy, right? So we're going to start with the tire management one.
Okay, here's something to remember about this circuit. Turn 3 will be the first one to give you trouble. You hit it at the top of an incline, and it's a deceptively tight corner with a late apex. It can be hard to get good traction down. If you're struggling, carry a bit of extra entry speed and use a bit of the runoff.
Thanks, Jeff. Now we're going to get back in. I got to get back into it because I just haven't raced
this test is all about tire management. Try to control the slip through each corner and take extra care putting the power down at the
by
apex.
a while, I mean like 5 days. So, tire management program started. I'm gonna have to be easy on the tires. Thankfully, we don't need any racing line. It's just managed tire wear, clean lap, DRS all zones. We managed the tires pretty good through there. We have to be careful the high-speed corners coming up, though. Particularly not this one, but the one right after this one. About how you put the power down really more than I mean the braking will help, like how you brake into a corner will obviously help, but how you put the power down as well is going to be pretty important, especially these two corners. These are the fastest corners on the track coming up here. You can see it really wanted to. It really, the track meter really wanted to go there.
Program complete and a job
That's
well
easy.
done. We got some excellent data with that run, so come on back to the garage and I can talk you through the numbers.
Car almost wanted to spin there. We are going to have to be careful that second, like turn 1 and turn 2 specifically. I think are going to be a little bit tricky. So chain 5 corners, optimal third sector time, optimal second sector time for the track acclimatization. Drive a lap without leaving the track, activate all DRS zones in practice, and incur below average tire wear. So we have to do the tire wear again for the race strategy, for the development, for the secondary objective, which would be a development boost if we were in an F1 car. This one's pretty easy. Track acclimatization, we're going to go for it. We'll rewind if necessary for the track, but at least in the driver career. In the my team career, it's a lot more difficult. The difficulty is a little bit higher in our my team career, so, and the car is not good. Whereas everybody's kind of, everyone's kind of on the same car here in F2 at least, right? I hit the. I didn't want to run it wide. I really risked running it wide there. That was the only. That's really the only problem is I didn't really take the. Yeah, I totally missed that one though. I broke way too late that time. Yeah, much better. Much better. There's not really. I mean, look at the gates that we need, by the way. There's not as many around this track. I'm kind of surprised we got track acclimatization because it just there's just no turns. Like there's just so very minimum kind of turns around this track. It's just a very short, very straightforward track. For I almost for Formula One, it's one of the for Formula One, it's one of the shortest laps all year. And yeah, I lost a lot of speed coming through there. Whoa, lag spike. Should be good. It's the respawn or the restart that's a little bit laggy. And it's because we upped the quality graphics on the game. I don't know if anyone's noticed. I'm actually not really running at like 60 frames. I don't think I'm running at like 45, 50.
That was a very good job indeed.
But
we
it's
got
okay.
a lot of valuable information out of that.
It's a single-player game. Like, it's not hugely important. So track acclimatization done. That one's in the books. We need an optimal third sector time. We have to run it again, actually. I didn't even realize that we didn't pick that up, the optimal third sector. So here we go again. Of course, this shows it's checked because it's an issue that Codemaster still hasn't patched out of the fucking game in 10 patches. And you would think that's something that would be so easily able to be patched out. Like, I just don't get it. But that's Codemasters for you. I knew I was gonna fucking hit that guy. I broke way too late. Way too late down here. I didn't hit that cleanly enough. Nope. Shit. My Steam friends just popped up randomly. Always happens when I'm streaming and Steam friends winds up disconnecting. No surprise there. Alright. Easy run down here. Need a good. You see what this target score is, like 310. It's like other tracks. They can be as high as 500 because there's that many gates. How did I green that? I don't know how that happened. But we got a better exit, I think, out of that corner. I just think we need to hold it together now for these last two corners. I greened that because I just clipped the outside of that. I think those two corners there we linked together pretty well, or at least well enough to maybe nail this objective. Did we get it? We got it this time.
And a job well done. We got
it that time. All right.
Excellent data with that run, so come on back to the garage and I can talk you through the numbers.
So two laps, 2 runs of track acclimatization. We got all the objectives. Now it's time for the race strategy.
So far is a 1 minute 16.
A little worried about the tire wear situation. Just worried in general because braking so hard and then trying to accelerate, really power out of these corners to get good time. Can really wear the tires, and I tend to not be the gentlest on the tires. It depends on the track. I will say that, but I can be brutal on them. I will admit, at some tracks. I don't actually know which ones, to be honest with you. So I'm just kind of hoping that Austria is not one of those tracks. First two are easy, DRS all zones, clean lap. That's nothing to get too worried over. Nothing to get too fussed over. But the tire wear, I'm really interested to see how that goes. We gotta stay, of course, below the delta, but we're looking good there. We had really good pace at Baku. I know that. And I actually did in the league race on Monday night. I finished P12. Those last two turns that lead onto the straight at Sector 3 at Baku, I really have a trouble keeping it flat every single lap. Like if I nail it, I can get it, but I'm not really. Okay, I got all the development boost. That's good.
Great data.
I'm not really good at nailing it. Like the consistency for me isn't there in nailing those last two corners. So for me, I usually lift now. It's almost like Eau Rouge. I still haven't figured out how in this game to take Eau Rouge completely flat. And so I lift, and that costs me a lot of time. And I won the league race, the first one that we did at Spa, which I think was a miracle. I barely won. I think I won by like 2 seconds. It wasn't very good, but I just need to find more pace around that track because you lose so much down the Kemmel Straight. I mean, it's unbelievable how much time you lose just by not being able to keep it flat. So, but then I can take like Blanchemont completely flat and perfect, and like I don't even need much of a runoff at Blanchemont. So that's
great lap.
That's where I run it. That's what I'm running into right now. So. And of course, that's Friday night's race in the league is Spa Part 2. It's one of 5 tracks that we have to race at twice this season. Wednesday is track number 2 that we have to race. So Monday was track 1 that we had to race at twice this season. That was Baku. Won the first race, P12 last night. We got Silverstone tomorrow, Spa on Friday, Circuit of the Americas on Monday, Albert Park on Wednesday, and then we got the 3 tracks left that we haven't raced at yet, and that is Singapore, we have Singapore, we have Hungary, and we have Spain. And then I think after that, the season's over. I think that's curtains. Magic number for us is 40. 40 points. So.
Okay, super job so far. We're getting great data. Stay focused.
You goddamn right you are. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the end of the season. I know that. I need a little bit of time between that and league racing again. I'm all right without league racing for like a month. But I think we only have 2 weeks off before the next season. I have to see. We will see. Trying to find my consistency around here without running wide and getting a track limit. That turn back there is really bad for it. That turn, and then also the running wide on this turn, and even not this turn, but definitely this turn.
Great lap. You've nailed what we asked for.
I'm kind of interested to see what the car behind his time is. My best is, I don't even know what my best is. I'm in the middle of the session.
Our best lap so far is a 1:16.3.
So we're doing a 1:16.3.
Armstrong is behind you. Their best lap time is
9/10.
1:17.2.
9/10 quicker right now than second place Marcus Armstrong, who is trying to come back into this championship. He podiumed, I think, at the first 2 races, or it might have been like he took good points at the first 3 and podiumed 2 of them, something like that. And he's been nowhere to be seen since. And he's fallen from like 3rd in the championship behind Sonoda. I think he's down to like 9th or 10th now. It's quite shocking the fall from grace he's kind of had. There's an invalidated lap. Ran a little too wide there. We are going to get punished by this track if we keep running wide. Like,
okay, test complete, and that was a very good job indeed. We got a lot of valuable information out of that.
Look at the tire wear. And these are the hards. Granted, we've run 7 plus 9, really. Or 7 plus 8, really. That's 15 laps, so they're almost 2% a lap.
You're nearly out of fuel, almost out of fuel.
Now we gotta do 40 laps in the feature race, so.
Right, come in at the end of this lap.
We gotta hope the hards last like 27 laps, probably 25, 27 laps. They probably will, but they'll probably be pretty freaking worn by the end of them.
Box this lap, please. Box this lap. When driving with the pit assist disabled, you'll need to be mindful of your speed when entering the pit lane.
Now
if you hit the limiter line too fast,
pits
you'll pick up a penalty.
Here
Watch the on-screen
lot of
prompts that
issues
show
with
your target
AOR.
speed and distance to the limiter line.
Because you have to be in, you can't. You have to, okay, sorry. So with the pits here, you have to 100% like start on the right side of the line. You can't just cut over the line whenever. It's a penalty if you do, right? And it's all, the problem is the penultimate corner. Like, you can cut over the line if you're not coming into the pits. So like for the penultimate corner, part of that pit entry is part of the racing line. So if you don't have a car pitting in front of you, for example, and you're taking the racing line, you would cut over the line to hit the apex of that corner, and you would swing back wide, and you would, you know, go outside the pits, like you would completely miss the pit lane. So the line starts like right here. The line starts here. So and it hugs the inside, and then the pit lane actually starts here, right? So if you're racing, you would come in, you would hit that apex, you would kick wide, and then you would just, you know, not go into the pits, and then you would hit this apex and go down. If you're in the pits, you would hug the inside. You have to be inside that line here, and then you have to follow that around into the pits. So what would happen is if you starting outside, then you cross over the line, and then come into the pits, that's a penalty. So it's a penalty in real life F1, it's a penalty in AOR. So a lot of drivers are having issues with that, or they took issues with that, or they, you know, they tried to argue about it. But I mean, the rule is the rule. And it's there to protect drivers who are not coming into the pits, so that they don't try to combat with drivers coming into the pits, and it gets very dangerous because you have one car not going max speed, another car going max speed, etc., 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 etc. But yeah, that costs a lot of iron. So you have to really be careful when you come into the pit, because this turn is not as fast as it looks. It's a fast turn, but when you're, especially when you're hugging the inside, it'll be quite tight on you. It'll be a little sharp on you. So you really got to make sure you stick it on the inside there. And that caught a lot of drivers out in AOR. I think 2 of them got penalized in the EU race. Of course, the driver we're doing our 2-player career mode with, Darn, won that AOR race out of Austria. Lovely dude. We have the first episode of that out on YouTube. Definitely gonna check that out, by the way. This is what I'm talking about. There's that line. But it's also part of the racing line, so. But I mean, you just have to be careful of it really when you're coming into the pits. It will catch you out. Especially how sharp that penultimate turn will be on the inside. But it also means if you're racing, you got to be careful because there's going to be some cars diving on the inside that are not going to be up to racing speed. And you're going to want to take that line, and you're asking for disaster if you're not paying attention to who's going into the pits, who's not. You know, you really pressing your luck. Ooh, I've missed the braking zone there. So I turned away for 1 second and I missed the braking zone. So I just want to check one thing. Yes, that is a bot I have to ban. So /ban, Debbie Moore, bot. And that is it. That is bot gone. So, okay. Apologies for the pause. But you know the way it is. They come around here. They interrupt everything. And we gotta give them the hammer. That's the corner we really got to be careful of. Get a lot of track limits there. This is what I'm talking about with the... Ooh, don't... I was going to say don't validate the next lap too, please. That's always a fine line around Austria. Kind of what is acceptable, what is not acceptable. What is track limits. Getting your car on the track limits.
Okay, just want to remind you to keep an eye on your tyre temperatures, which you can do on the temperature panel of the
Why,
LFD.
Jeff?
We monitor carcass temperature and surface temperature,
No, Jeff.
and you'll get the best performance when they're both inside a normal operating window. Surface temps tend to fluctuate faster, so try a few laps with the data open.
Who is Jeff
and
preaching
get a feel
to?
for how to control them.
Jeff out here reading a fucking textbook, like... Jeff out here, like, turn to page 84 in your textbook, please. Let's talk about tire temps. Like, bitch, I'm driving the car. Excuse me. Ooh, she's loose. Ooh, she's loose. That's the tires starting to go right there. You see they're getting pretty worn. But that's going to jack up this whole next lap probably. That turn one's really good for throwing you off line too, because it's that kind of sharp uphill, and you kind of lose the traction on the front tires quite a bit. And that, you know, that can cause the rear tires to kind of spin a bit more, especially if you don't have the differential right. And then you're asking for that back end to go around. It's just like that one's a little bit difficult because it's off camber a little bit. You're going down the hill. That one's not too bad. A little bumpy. I don't always throw your traction off when it's a little bumpy. Which is what makes this corner so annoying for the track limits, because it's also a little bumpy going in there, but you got to take that pretty fast. It's a fast left-hander. So you want to take it fast, but you know if you hit too much of the bumps, the car's going to understeer on you, and then you're going to be running it too wide. And that's a big problem. It's a little uphill here, right at the apex, that wants to throw you off. Every time. So you got to be very careful when you get on the power down after turn one. It's the same way here at turn two. Our best is a 1:16.3. Now Armstrong's was a 1:17.2, but I want to see how quick he is.
Armstrong behind. Their best lap
It's still a
time is a
1:17.2.
1 minute 17.2.
See the car bounce here a bit. That's not too bad. This is straight. It's not inward curve like this one is. You see a car bounce a little bit here and there, and it runs you right up to that curve because it's trying to throw you right. Or once the track wants to lead you right. And there you can see that's kind of what we were talking about with the pit lane entrance. Six minutes, 6:45 left of practice. Formula One cars around here, I think I can do about a 106. Alien time's like a 101, maybe a 1 minute flat. Of course, F2 cars slower, so our best at 116. But still one of the faster tracks that we'll go to all F2 season, really. And the curbs, you want to take a bit of them, but not too much of them. This curve is a little up high, it can throw you off. Roy, there you go, Roy. That curve is really bad. You want to take quite a bit of that one, but you gotta be careful not to hit the sausage part of the curve. Hit that sausage curve, that car's not gonna stick to the track. Same here. But again, on that turn one with the dip, and the way that sausage curve is, it can be very difficult to keep the car on the track because you want to get the power down very early because it's such a fast track, but you will lose the back end. That's just something we're going to have to be mindful of all race. Remember, wet to dry for both races. Light rain to dry for the feature race. Heavy rain to light rain to dry for the sprint race as well. We might have to get a pit stop in during the sprint race, which is almost unheard of in Formula 2. We went purple in that third sector. That's going to lead us. I mean, the time's not too bad right now. Only down half a tenth. Oh, that's much better. I'd love to get this into the 115s, but I don't think that's going to be possible. We'll see. We're half a second up.
This lap, please. Box this lap.
Absolutely not, Jeff. I lost a little bit of time there. I overshot that turn. Way overshot that turn. I way overshot. I lost the lap. I lost the lap there. Shame, because that was a beautiful middle sector. Ah, I lost the lap there. It's a shame because I nailed this penultimate corner. That was really good, actually. There you go. Bam! There's that 115. 115.7. Now we're going to box.
Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap.
Who that? Alpha F1. I actually think that's probably, for the first time in a while, not a bot. But welcome, Alpha. I hope you're well. So, I only say that because I've had so many of them come over to stream, man. Like over the last week and a half, it's been unreal. We do not have enough gas for 16th lap. I mean, look at what. Granted, remember we did in laps and out laps. So we did what? 4 in laps, 4 out laps, 5 in laps, 5 out laps. That's like 10 laps on top of this. So really, look at the tire wear after 26 laps. I'm not a bot and I'm good. Well, I'm glad. But welcome to the stream, my friend.
Box this lap, please. Box this lap.
It has been pretty bad with them over the last like week and a half. But yeah, man, welcome. So there we go. We're in. That's pretty much practice over. I mean, there's only a minute 35 left, so we're just gonna sim through the last. By the time we get back into the stall, minute what, 10? That'll give us qualifying. So I'm gonna probably for Thursday stream. I don't know. The safe says we have Baku race, which if we are in the race at Baku, we'll do the race. But if it's the whole race weekend, we'll probably kick over to the NASCAR Truck Series and just do the truck race, and then we'll come back for the race weekend on Saturday. For the my team career, that's Baku.
So far,
I'll probably sneak in the
lap is a
I got bots following, which just annoys me. I know I banned so many of them, dude. So many of them. It's bad. So I see it in the viewer list too every once in a while. They just pop up. I'm like, oh, crap, I gotta ban another one. But not bad. 1.4 seconds above Armstrong. Artem Markelov actually doing better than he has all season. He's in P14 right now.
If you need to find some more time, remember that corner exit is more important than corner entry. Slow in,
Jeff out here
fast out,
Jeff out here reading a textbook with 10 seconds left. Jeff be like, turn to page 91 of your textbook. We'll talk about corner entry and exit. Motherfucker, there's 10 seconds left. So, but anyway, fastest in practice. Ooh, yeah, I'll take that. Thank you. I'll take the extra XP. Boom. Almost prestige the podium pass. Almost. We might get there tonight. I mean, of all things considered, we might get the prestige level 1 tonight.
An interesting practice session there then. Let's remind ourselves of the top 3, which are Duchess, Armstrong, and Mick Schumacher. Thank you for joining us for free practice today.
That
we'll be back with more
Matsushita, by the way,
action very shortly.
Very interesting that Matsushita's down here in 22nd because if you remember at the previous race, he podiumed. Matsushita podiumed at the previous race. There he is in 10th. So he had 2 points, and the previous weekend he nabbed 25 of them, and now all of a sudden he's up in 10th position. So that's the standings, though. Of course, Tictum overtook Darula, who had a double no points finish. I'll just say he DNF'd the one race. He didn't finish in the points in the other. And Tsunoda, I think, picked up a few, but we had the big one trying to keep BWT HWA ahead of Carlin. It's only 40 points coming into this weekend. We'll see. Obviously, I'm not going to get much help from Markelov. He hasn't scored points all season. In fact, I think he's pretty far down there on the list now. Yeah, he's 20th out of 22. So I don't know why it is, but in all the career modes I have, even the one I play off stream, which I'm in season 2 in now, all my teammates are just terrible. I think my teammate in that one is Jack Aiken. I think at the 22 he's like P19 in the championship. Although we did just start season 2, to be fair. So, you know, all things considered, it's fairly new in the season there. Oh, I'm having a bit of a lag spike, so apologies about that. Practice over. Qualifying next. Remember, we got rain coming for the sprint and the feature race, so it's going to be a wild and wet weekend, and I have lost a button on my fan. I have lost the low button on my fan. It popped off. I have like one of those standing fans. It completely popped off. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Okay. Yeah, I have like a standing fan behind me because this room is very small. It's only a 10 by 10. And, you know, obviously with all the electronics in here and the door shut to minimize all the sound, it kind of gets pretty beefy here, I'm not going to lie. But the button on the low setting just popped right off when I just tried to turn it on. So, and it just flew to the other side of the room, so I had to go fetch it, put it back on the fan, so I could actually turn the box fan, or the standing fan on. It's still warm outside. Although, to be honest, even it gets warm enough in here, even in the winter, no matter how cold it gets. But still, overall, it's still pretty warm outside during the day and the night. Qualifying now. We got the options, baby. We got the soft tire. There's an old term for you, the option tire. They only use 2 sets in Formula 2, so it is almost like the old Formula 1 days where you had an option and a prime tire. Of course, we were playing F1 2012 before this new podium pass came out, and back in that edition of the game, that is all they had was the option and the prime tire. A little loose. Back end, this one. It's going to be interesting with the rain because this is a dry setup, and I really don't have a wet setup for Austria. I actually don't have a wet setup for really any of these tracks. So it is going to be a bit of a loose setup, but it shouldn't punish us too much since the races are going over to dry weather and relatively early on, they're going over to dry weather. It's not going to be too wet for too long. That is a 1:14.9.
Good job.
So let's see how that stands up. You remember we put a 1:15 in on the hard tires. This is the soft tires. So I think those lap times are going to drop. Man, those 1:16s, I think they're going to drop. We're going to accelerate time. I definitely don't see them hanging on to 1:16. They've only done 1 lap. Of course, they're going to run out a second lap, but I definitely think those times are going to come down. Maybe you'll see 1:16.0s from the CPUs. At least 1:16.5s or something like that. I mean, in practice they put in 1:17.2s, so I'm actually quite shocked they haven't improved their time. They're going to give it one more go, I'd imagine, here. Just run one more lap. Waiting to see these go green for the out lap. Are they not going to go? No, they are going to go. There they go. So they're going out one more time. Everybody changed position. I didn't catch who did what. Let's see. I definitely think we're going to get pole. I just think we're starting to find pace as the season's going along. You know, Bahrain, we were like 6/10, 5/10 quicker.
So qualifying is complete.
Baku,
and
we were like a second and
1.2
Your
seconds.
top
3 are Duchess, Deruvla, and Mick Schumacher.
Deruvla.
It's time to leave for now, but
and
we'll be back
Mick
tomorrow when the feature race
our
gets
teammate,
itself
qualifies
underway.
P7. Where is the other Carlin? Where's the other Carlin? Where is our championship rival? Tsunoda's in P18. Wow. Tsunoda's had a shocker of a qualifying session. Armstrong, who we said has started to slip down the table, you can see here he is in P5, right? He had two or three podiums. I think he had 3 points finishes, 2 podiums in the opening 3 races. And he was sitting in 3rd. Now he slipped down to 5th. He's not had a good qualifying session. He's down there in, what, P15, was it? Yeah. So the other MP Motorsport, Drogovic, who's kind of been like around the 10th, 11th. He's picked up 1 point here, 1 point there. He's in P21. Like, this is a shocker. This is a really... Giotto, who was really good. He was high up there in the order. Of course, he's down here in P12. But he was challenging us earlier on in the season. I might have been, not the Baku race, but I want to say maybe it was Spain. Or it might have been Monaco. He was up in like top 5. He's P12 now. Ticktum, who's 3rd in the championship, P9. Lundgaard, who hasn't scored points all season. He's been at the bottom of the table for most races. All of a sudden, he's P8. Like, really, really interesting. I'm kind of shocked that Deruvla has got the Carlin into 2nd as well. I would have thought we would have seen Tsunoda and Schumacher again kind of fight it out. Schwartzman's not really been in the picture for Prima all season, and here he is in 4th place. So, interesting results. The 4 points puts us 99 clear of Tsunoda, but it puts us 44 clear of the Carlin. Trident, the only team that's not scored. So nobody kind of changing places there. Let's get ready for the feature race. So feature race, here we go. Oh man, it's wet. Oh my God, look at that.
It's race day here at Spielberg, and the drivers are making their final preparations down on the grid before lights out. Look around, it's a spectacular setting, and I'm sure today's race will do it justice. Spielberg is a short lap, just 10 corners, 7 rights and 3 lefts, making up a total distance of 2.6 miles. Now, the wet conditions today are going to make the cars a bit skittish, especially through those downhill sections. Watch out for the cars running wide, especially through that last corner.
Yeah. Where's our boy?
I'm joined by a man who's had many a wet race, Davide Valsecchi. Just how challenging will these conditions be out there on track?
Delighted to be here, Alex. Even in this weather, nothing will be easy for them. We may have standing water, which means visibility will be a worry. They just need to stay clear of the white lines and curbs. That can cause you a real problem when it's so slippery.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
With that then, let's run through the grid order.
Curbs in the wet are
Duchess
just
lines up
death.
on pole position, with Jay and Deruvla alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Schumacher, Schwartzman, Guan Yu Zhou, and Matsushita, Markelov, Lundgaard, Ticktum, Pedro Piquet, Ilott, Giotto, Jack Aitken, and Sato, Armstrong, Samaya, Mazepin, and Yuki Tsunoda, Galeo, Nissani, Dragovic, and Louis Delatraz starts from the back of the grid.
All right.
And now it's time to head down to the track.
What a messy situation
After
this
the
is going
points
to be.
finish last race,
An
let's aim to keep the
absolutely
momentum
messy
going.
situation. I don't think we're going to need all 20 laps on this first stint of wet tires, but we'll see. 56 minutes is what they're predicting. I think it'll be a little bit quicker than that, hopefully. Let's start the formation lap, shall we?
Everything looks good on the power unit cycle, so let's concentrate on bringing tyres and brakes up to temperature.
I really don't want to strafe. The tires are fine though. Look at it. They'll operate at 42. That's amazing. The wet. That's amazing. The wet tires just operate at that cold of a temperature. Like.
ETA on this rain clearing up is about 10 minutes, so just keep your concentration out there. The rain is getting lighter now, but it's going to take a while for the track to dry out.
I mean, look at how much they just slid there. So, already early on, they're saying the rain is not going to last. Remember, this is light rain. And it is expected to dry. For the sprint race, it's expected to be very heavy rain at the start. And then we're going to get the light rain later on, and then we'll eventually move into dry conditions. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be like driving a boat. Always is in these games. So as long as I don't drive like Lando Norris did in Russia. Poor kid, by the way. I think we'll be fine. So rest of the grid's already there.
Keep an eye on the lights. The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid has formed. Be ready with the clutch.
We're all just coming into position now. You see Deruvla, Schumacher, Schwartzman, Zhou, Matsushita. The top 6 to start. 40 laps around Austria. In the wet. First we got the last 2 cars coming in now, I think. Not bad. Not bad. We're away well. And we're underway here. Now I'm a little concerned because if you remember in Monaco we didn't really have the pace in the wet. We just didn't. So here's hoping in Austria we got a little bit of pace in the wet. It looks, I don't know. Ruthless gaining on us yet to that corner, so it looks like maybe, I'm not 100% sure. Might have it. Okay. The car slides in that last turn. That's the only problem. Deruvla is just gonna eat time off us down after that turn. After we slid coming out of that last turn, that turn 10. And he's just gonna eat time off us after turn 1. Nice. I want to take it careful around turn 1 because there's just the ability to really just spin the car. It's just very easy to. You can hear the slide, the skid there. That's going to lose us a lot of time too. Oh. It's just difficult when you want to just floor it. And you can't really floor it. That is a unnecessary track warning, a limit that we took. Whoa. Whoa, no. gotta be careful not to slide it like we did in the first lap. He's still gaining time on us after that corner and this one, but it's manageable. It's manageable. I'll put it that way. We have enough pace because we gain on him pretty much everywhere else throughout the track. We might have been a little too cautious through that one, but we certainly can build the gap. The rain, by the way, is lightening up. The rain is really, you can see it went from a heavy rain to, or even like a heavier rain to like a kind of a spit there in Sector 1. It's really not bad in Sector 1. It's a little bit bad towards the back of this track, but not bad, not bad. That was okay. Well, I said it now. He's getting ready to eat time, but look, green, purple. I'll take
We're
it.
increasing our gap on the car behind by around a second.
I've missed the braking zone. I completely missed the braking zone. So I think around lap 7 or 8, we're going to see this rain stop. I think Jeff's going to come in here shortly and be like, yeah, you got 5 minutes till the rain stops. Not great. Yeah, I'm just watching. I got one eye on the Delta. So car's sliding a little bit there, but it's not too bad. That we gained a lot of time in that turn, and kind of this section as well. We're just gonna take that one. Not bad. We're putting a little bit of distance between us and Darula, who by the way, how's put distance between him and Schwartzman? Schwartzman's passed his teammate Mick Schumacher for 3rd. Matsushita, where has he come from? Matsushita is in 5th. Whoa, where has he come from? I didn't really see where he qualified. Catch the VOD, I probably will, but he wants more points. Matsushita's hungry, man. A little bit of a slide there. Tire wear looking okay for right now. It's not time for dries just yet. Green flag. There's a yellow flag in the previous sector. I wonder what for.
Green flag. Green flag. We're racing again.
Joe is out of the session. Guan Yu Zhou. And we've got a virtual safety car
is being deployed due to an incident with multiple vehicles being stopped on the track. We need you to drop your pace. Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace.
we have a virtual safety car. We have to do a mandatory pit stop as well, I believe. That's why it says pit stops will not be counted as mandatory. I'm losing time to Joe, by the way. Or not Joe, I'm sorry, Darublaha.
It looks like we'll be running on a dry track soon. Back to dry shortly. VSC ending, we're going green. Maintain positive delta until the green flags.
There we go. Whew. I had to really focus there at the end. We almost got a penalty. So we got a virtual safety car. And yeah, actually, we lost a bit of time. We lost like 2 seconds to Darublaha to that VSC. It looks like we're going to be running on a dry track soon, said Jeff. And the sun is coming out. You can see it poking out on the left-hand side there. Rain's kind of stopped here in Sector 1. Gaining on us. I don't know what it is, man. I just do not have pace in the wet. I gotta admit, especially in intermediate conditions, man. Like, I got nothing, bro. Of course, there is no intermediate tire here in Formula 2. It's just wets or dries. It's like there's no three compounds. It's just options or primes. The question is, when do we want to swap over? Because that is going to come soon enough. We are going to have to swap soon. I think we'll be there probably within like 5 laps.
The gap on the car behind by 0.5 per lap.
0.5. It was like 8 or 0.9. But we're really kind of in intermediate conditions now, all things considered. So, beg your pardon. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. That's the corner we gained probably the most time on our second place runner. This and oh, come on, that is so, I need to be better than that. That is so unnecessary for me. Yeah, that corner there as well. So, those are the two kind of corners we find the most speed over Darubla right now. Who's kept it pretty close, all things considered. Two purple sectors though.
The fastest lap of the race.
26.4 in the wet. I didn't think that corner was particularly very bad either, but he's just a little bit quicker around that first bend. let's see if we can not cause the car to slide. She just doesn't want to slow down in a straight line, and of course the turn kind of being a little downhill to the right means that back end just doesn't want to. There's not enough grip at the start of the turn-in. That's basically all it means. We're definitely going to be on a dry track soon. The rain is pretty much stopped. I don't really see anywhere it's raining anymore. I know there's still the effect on the lens, on the camera, but I don't actually see the streaks of rain is the point. And so, I think
we're leading our teammate by 8.7 seconds.
We said Sector 1 was where it dried first. And I'm kind of watching the rest of the field to see when they want to go over to dry tires as well. It's not time yet. It's time soon. But it's not time yet. Racing line's still way too wet. Yeah, that turn in is killer in the wind. We're a little bit too cautious there through that turn. We're going to lose some time here. That that's a much better turn there. So there's no train on this part of this track either towards Sector 3, and it's only a matter of time, really. We're almost right on the crossover. Let's get a report from Jeff.
Radar is clear. Weather is looking good for now.
He didn't even tell me what he thought was the best tire. Let's try it again.
Conditions look stable at the moment. No rain currently expected.
He's still not giving it to me.
You're leading the pack. P1. Deruvula behind. The gap behind us is 7.3 seconds. They're on old wets. Your pit window opens in 9 laps time. 30 laps till the end now.
So I think during our pit window, we're just going to go on to the hard compound tire anyway. I don't think the softs will particularly last that long. But I think if we don't need to pit prior to the pit window opening, I think by the time the pit window opens, the track will be pretty dry. Now we can just go straight onto the dry tire. Yep, new hearts.
Copy that. Hearts for next box.
Hearts for next box. I think it has to be here. How long do we have another choice? I gotta say, by the way, I've seen a lot of people playing New Order, and it kind of made me miss MMOs. I mean, I miss Blade and Soul. To me, it's probably my favorite MMO. But it became so pay to win, I left it, and I haven't gone back. And part of me's really debated it, but I would spend way too much money on it, and I'm just better off without it in my life, really. Because I had trouble controlling myself when I played that game, so I'm kind of not willing to really go back to it yet. But I will say this. I've seen New World, and it looks good. But the question I had is, and I asked this to a lot of streamers who were streaming it, you know, friends of mine who were streaming it. does it offer a lot that other MMOs haven't necessarily offered before? And the answer I mainly got is no. It's just the brand shiny new MMO with Amazon behind it. And I'm like, might not be worth spending $30 on it then. You know what I mean? Like, especially when I can get the MMO feeling I'm looking for with a free-to-play that I used to play. Now that one was called Repels. Now Repels is still around. 2006 it was released. And here's the story of Repels, right? It was owned by a company called G Potato. And G Potato released this game along with many others. They had a really good Mahjong game actually that I loved that did not last long. And I was actually very, very, very fucking good at that game actually, believe it or not. It was a multiplayer Mahjong game, but it was a tile matching, but you raced against everybody else in the lobby. Really, really simple concept. But I was really good at it. Which is probably why I miss it the most, because number one, I like Mahjong, and number two, I was good at it. But I also like the traditional, actual, multiplayer, real version of Mahjong, where you play against 3 other players in match sets, and kind of like in Mahjong Soul, though I'm not hugely in love with Japanese Mahjong, and Mahjong Soul is strictly Japanese Mahjong. I'm more kind of a modern Chinese Mahjong fan. Even a traditional Chinese Mahjong fan, but more kind of like traditional scoring, but with modern play, kind of like, you know, you would see. Really, probably, I would say of the two, traditional is my favorite. Then I like modern as well.
We're seeing a gap form.
And then Japanese is kind of my third favorite. I cannot stand American Mahjong. I think American Mahjong is absolutely garbage. Of course, typical America. They added a feature and ruined the game. So they added 2 features and completely ruined the game. And that was Jokers and the Charleston. How is that a track limit warning, man? So in American Mahjong there are Jokers, which could be any tile, which I think it becomes like the tile next to the one you place it or something like that, so you can make it into a tile that you need. So instead of 4 tiles in every hand, or 4 tiles in every game, like 4 1 of dots in every game. You essentially have like, you can have like 6 1 of dots, shit like that. It's just garbage rules. And then they also had the Charleston before every hand, which is exactly like it is in Hearts, where you trade 3 cards to the left, 3 cards to the right, 3 cards across from you. 3 tiles to the left, 3 tiles to the right, 3 tiles across from you. And then if all the players want to do it again, they can agree to do it a second time before each hand. And I'm like, why not just play the fucking game? Like, why not just actually play, you know, the game the way it was intended to be played instead of all these kooky rules? But anyway, I do like traditional Mahjong. But back to Repels, right? That was a side tangent. So G Potato released this game, Repels. Now, they have like, they call them epics, and they're like major patch updates, right? Like version changes, like overhauls, right? So, I think nowadays you would call them DLC packs, but essentially epics, right? And I joined at Epic 2, and I grinded, and I got up to level about 94, 95, right? The level cap back then was 120, so I was a pretty strong character. Epic 4 comes out, and the level cap goes up to 150. Delatraz is out. So the level cap goes up to 150. And I'm at this rate like 104, 105. You gotta remember, it takes a lot of XP to get to the next level. I mean, you were talking 94 to 95 was maybe 13 million experience points, and a mob was giving you 6,000. So a lot of grinding, right?
Gap to teammate behind is
And
16.2 seconds.
I was plugging away. Well, they had a infamous. They were getting ruby
Yellow
cells,
flag.
which is ruby's the in-game currency. It's basically gold. And there's Delatraz parked on the side. I've had a lag spike. I don't know why. But anyway, so they got these in-game ruby cells. Well, apparently they had traced it back to this what was starting out in that age. This was like 2008, 2009. Basically, prisons in China that would force their prisoners to play MMOs, particularly free-to-play ones, because they were free to play, and they would grind the game to gather as much in-game currency as they could, and then they would sell that in-game currency, and to players who were willing to buy it. And that's how the prison generated extra income. Because Repels wasn't a hugely demanding
That's
client.
a new fastest lap of the race.
And they did this with a lot of other MMOs as well. Repels wasn't the only one. Blade Soul actually had this issue as well. But what do you call it? They got hacked in 2009, I want to say. And G-Potato didn't roll back the servers. I don't know if they had a server backup, but they didn't roll back the servers. And G-Potato's offer to help afflicted players was to give everybody registered premium for free for 7 days. That was it. And the only real big benefit with premium is you get access to this hidden village. And the hidden village meant your sale prices were 10% higher and your buy prices were 10% cheaper. That was it. That was actually it. And so a lot of players said, after all the hours of grinding, fuck this, and they left the game.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the hard.
G-Potato goes under 2010, I want to say. And Webzen buys the rights. Webzen comes in, buys the IP to distribute the rights in America. Webzen being a Chinese-based company. And Webzen owns the game for the next freaking 8 to 9 years. They do an alright job. They do a lot of anniversary events. They patch the game up to Epic 7.5, I want to say. So they release content. The game gets kind of wacky. It's not a little bit wacky, like there's just so many features, some of which are just fucking confusing as fuck. There's like 7 different million types of dungeons now, instead of just dungeons. I'm having a massive lag spike for no goddamn reason. Yeah, it was like 7 different types of, that is a unnecessary track limit because I'm watching the fucking bitrate meter in OBS. But you know what? Overall, there are some features that are neat. They add a feature that helps newer players grind to like mid to upper level, probably mid levels, I would say. So it used to take forever, obviously, to grind anywhere, especially if you were anything close to 120 or above. It took you fucking forever. I'm having another lag spike for some reason. I'm wondering why why am I just having these spikes here? I'll reset the router if need be, but I just don't understand why I'm having spikes. So there it is again. I'm having another spike. Give me a second. We're gonna take a BRB and try to figure this out. We'll be right back. Alright, should be sorted. Sorry. Back to it. I wake up in the morning and getting back to... Well, I say that and then I just have a small spike, but it should mostly be sorted. We'll put it that way. But anyway, so yeah, so they, you know, Webzen adds a lot of good features. Game is still extreme. Wow, it's bad. Oh man, lag again. Oh wow. Okay. If it continues to be bad, I know I have one other fix in place. And okay, hold on. We're gonna BRB. All right, we'll monitor it. I'll put it that way. But hopefully we're good now. Anyway, oh my lord. Okay. So, like I said, Webzen adds a lot of new features. Game's fine, but obviously with a game that's that old, it's very niche now.
The car behind has started to drop back. There's a gap beginning to form.
It's kind of, you know, the player base decreases, right, over the years. So they went from, at their height, about 16 servers to at their lowest, which really was like 2 to 3 years ago, 2. They only had about 2 servers. So Webzen
Check your
sells...
MFD for a new strategy option.
This is going to be the dries.
Copy that.
Yeah, I think next lap is good for dries. But so Webzen eventually sells the game rights to PlayNet, which is another Chinese-based company.
Give us the best
And
you can.
the player base has actually grown. They just upped it to 4 servers now, and so they have 2 new servers. They're all pitting.
Artem is in the pits. Artem in the pits.
That's fine. By the time I get around, he'll be out of the pits. But yeah, so now PlayNet has it, and we'll see where the game goes from here. But the main thing too is, a lot of the people playing New World got me back into the game. So the only problem is my characters didn't save. First off, I mean I don't have the original account anyway from G Potato to Webzen that had all my old characters, because the email address they're linked to is no longer in commission. It just gone, right? And then when Webzen sold to PlayNet,
is still looking good.
they don't have, I don't have the character from there either. So I've had to start all over twice. But you know, I've been playing it last night after the league race. But played it Sunday night, and been enjoying it again. It's a game. It's a game that I just, every once in a while I'll just throw a few hours into it, and I'll just grind, and it's fine. Like it's an MMO. That's what they're meant for, and I'll just grind it. I'd be interested in streaming it, but the lag on that it just doesn't do well with the connection at home. I don't have a strong enough connection to play the game and stream the game. So maybe if it's something where Nerd Street opens back up, we'll see it from there.
Complete. Go now.
But you know, I can stream it from there, I mean, I say Nerd Street Open, so they are open, but it's the Baker Street address. I just do not want to go to the Baker Street
Up to
address.
speed
It's
now.
not a good neighborhood.
Let's get some heat into those tires.
So if the block, once the block opens, then maybe it's something we'll stream from there. So, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'll probably play it tomorrow night after the league race tomorrow night as well, since we're not streaming tomorrow. We're streaming on Thursday, and it's probably going to be the NASCAR Truck Series. I eventually want to get around to playing it. I'm just really enjoying F1, but I don't want to commit to. I want to alternate between a driver career and my team, and the driver career right now is for F2. They're like 3-hour streams, which is easy to commit to on a weekday night. You start at like 7 or 7:30. It's not that bad, right? My team are like 5-hour streams, and that's just a lot to commit to on a weekday night. So we might break it up with a little bit of NASCAR in between. So I just have to. I don't want to stream the dirt races because they're so uninteresting to me, and I am gonna take them off the schedule probably for the following season in career mode. Now in that career mode, by the way, I am like deep into season 2. Like we're in the playoffs for the dirt series. So Darugla just set the fastest lap. He's only 8.9 back. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. Color my lot, 122. Oh, Mick Schumacher on a 122.7. Markeloff is P4. Our teammate's P4. Oh my God, can he hold on for 18 laps? Our teammate might be able, for the first time ever, to bring home points for BWT HWA race lap. That would be huge. That would go a long way in the Constructors' Championship as well. Purple in Sector 2 after a green Sector 1. Can we nail the fastest lap? 2 points are on the line for it, by the way, if you finish in the top 10. And we are absolutely going to nail the fastest lap for 1:19.0.
That was the fastest lap of the race so far.
That puts a little bit of distance between us and Darugla, who had gained pretty
Bring out
close.
a second lap on the car behind.
Remember, we were quicker in qualifying and in practice by over a second. We just need to recover that pace, that's all. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to playing more Repels. I gotta admit. It's just like a fun throwaway game. Graphics aren't terrible. It's 2006. But even for a game from 2006, the graphics are not bad. So, and yeah, I'm just gonna grind. Just gonna grind like I always did in that game. So I more kind of play that game solo, which is weird because you really need to play it multiplayer to level up quicker. But I'm not really too worried about it. I'll
That
just
was
grind,
the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up.
So I'm level 32 in that game. Level cap, by the way, now is 200. So tells you everything you need to know about how much it takes to get to the top levels. And you're not considered strong now until you're at least level 150. Like, you're not considered decent until you're level 150. And end game is 180 above. So if we do play that game, devote some time to it, which is the plan while I'm not casting CSGO. Maybe we'll get, we'll get somewhere. I don't know if we'll get to 180. I don't even know if we're going to get to 150, let alone 100. But I'd like to eventually surpass my character, my original character, which was 104. So if we can get somewhere above there, I would enjoy it. So it took about 1,000 hours to get to level 104. A little bit more than that. It took probably 1,200 hours. And back in the X-Fire days, if you remember X-Fire, if anybody remembers X-Fire, probably not, but
Great work.
that was my second most played game. My Unreal Tournament 2004 was my most played game, 2,100 hours. And then I had Repels at 1,200, and then I had Albatross 18, which became Peng Ya at about 950 to 1,000. And I have played Peng Ya on this stream before. It is now decommissioned, but there is a kind of a fan spin-off that has kept it going. But all the servers, except for the Thailand servers, are shut down. So player base, the servers as well in the fan made, or the Phoenix of the game that's being kept alive by the fans, it can only handle 20 to 40 people as well. So it's not deep. It's not ever really going to be what it used to be, which is a shame as I spin out. Which is a shame because that was a very fun golf game. Very, very easy to pick up. Very hard to master. And wasn't necessarily pay to win either. You could grind a lot of what you needed in Albatross. It took you a lot longer. That is a terrible track extension. It took you a lot longer to grind what you needed in Peng Ya, but you could get there, was the point. They always made it so that they made it so that when you were an intermediate player, a junior to a senior, pay to purchase clubs were much stronger than the free clubs. And then when you got to semi-pro, they were kind of about even. And then when you got above to pro, master, or world class, into the star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, 5 stars, it didn't matter which clubs you had. It didn't matter which clubs you had. So, which I thought was great. And all the characters you eventually get with in-game currency. It was like League in that sense. We're flying around this track now. Feels a lot better to be in the try, although the car is a lot looser, obviously. But it feels good. So, putting in 117s now, that's fine. But I do miss those old games, man, like Repels, Peng Ya. I wish Peng Ya was still around, in all honesty. It is a shame that game died. Chrome Hounds, which was an amazing game for the 360. One of the best multiplayer games I ever played. Veli even mentioned it semi-recently in a tweet. And that game slapped. Chrome Hounds was a fucking brilliant game. And the fact that nobody took that concept and made a sequel. Nobody took this idea that they had in Chrome Hounds and did anything with it. I mean, that's an IP that if they ever bring it back, 100% that's a purchase and a half. Like, there's no way in hell I wouldn't play Chrome Hounds 2. I wouldn't care if I had to buy a console for it. I would have to play Chrome Hounds 2. Like, it just is an amazing. Chrome Hounds was such an unbelievable game. I mean, nostalgia bites me hard when it comes to games, man. I mean, I even love the old Halo stuff. So when they release Master Chief Collection, like, you best believe I'm gonna eventually go ham in that game. Like, we gotta get a crew, and or at least I gotta get a crew. You gotta play through those games, like. Those games were fun, man. Halo was a phenomenal series. I wasn't really a fan of 3. I wasn't really a fan of Reach. Certainly wasn't a fan of Wars. But Halo 1 and Halo 2 were so good. That was back when games had to make a single player too. Like, people talked about Halo because it had great single player campaign as well. Like that was the difference back then, man. FPS titles.
Okay, watch your
Safety
pace.
car.
We've been informed that the safety car is out. There appears to have been an issue with multiple stopped vehicles on the track.
So this is going to wipe away our lead. Our 22-second lead is gone. Why am I getting a warning for track limits when it's a safety car, man? The question is, what happened? Something has had to have happened. Let's go to the race director. Are we going to see pit stops? Well, we might see pit stops here. Something has to have happened. So, a virtual safety car.
We're coming up to the safety car now.
now a
Do not
full
pass it. You are the leader.
safety
Follow
car.
the safety car.
Did somebody lose a wing? Like, was it debris? I'm not seeing what would have caused a safety car. I'm not seeing what would have caused a safety car. Nobody's pitted yet. Yeah, I don't. This is odd. This is a very random safety car. I want to say I'm going to see people pit. Not Markov, he's running P4. Our teammate might score his first points of the season. This safety car could help him do that because as we run the laps down, it means he's going to get closer to doing so, and the DRS will not be a threat to him as much. So, for example, if the safety car comes in on lap 31, DRS isn't enabled until the end of lap 34. Until lap 34, he's only got to defend points positions for 7 laps, and he's in 4th of all the points positions. So it's not like he's in 10th and he's got to defend 1 position. He's in 4th. He can drop 3 places and still score points. So still want to look at the race director, man. There has to have been a pit stop. Something has to have happened. No, there's been no pit stops. What? There must have been a spin. And the only thing I can think of is
Approaching the safety car. You're leading, so don't pass it. Stay behind the safety car.
Maybe a car spun and they pulled out the safety car because he spun in a bad area of the track or something. Lord knows, but we have a full safety car. We are coming up on 10 laps left in the feature race. We are going to see if we can squeeze the sprint race in tonight as well. Should be ever present by our timer. No retirements for the safety car and no pits. Nobody pitted. So could be a glitch. We don't know. It is a Codemasters game, mate. Like a glitch is totally possible. Like just glitch safety car. Safety car spawns because there's Codemasters. But let's see how we fare on the restart. Woo. I almost got loose under a safety car there. How are the tires is the question. We have a brand new set of
Safety car is in this lap. Safety car in this lap. You will be controlling the pace on the restart. Keep it steady until the safety car has reached the pit lane.
Yep. We have got to keep it steady. He is coming into pit lane now. He is going to be in the pits. We're going. Did we get the jump is the question. Not really. On our butts. But we are back to green flag racing. We are going to have to try and break DRS. He's in our slipstream. He's within 2/10 now, or 3/10 now. We take a hard inside turn. We got half a second, but again, slipstream. We stuck it to that inside apex, and that's almost broken the gap, the 1 second gap. And that should have. Yes, he is 1 1/3 seconds behind. We took a lot inside curve. That curve does get you loose. But we took a lot of it and we got away with it. Markelov trying to stay ahead of Ticktum. Trying to catch Schwartzman as well, or stay within Schwartzman. Trying to break further away from Rublev with 8 laps remaining. Random safety car. It didn't look like it was prompted by 2 cars colliding or a car DNFing. Way. That is our second track limit warning. We're going to rewind it a little bit. We kind of took way too much fucking curve, didn't we? Alrighty, 7 laps to go this time by. We're looking good for the win. Carlin is going to get a car in 2nd place at this rate. That'll be Darula. No idea where Sonoda is.
Good job.
Absolutely
that was
no
the
idea.
fastest lap of the race so far.
DRS is enabled for the last 7 laps. Markelov has to make sure he stays within a second of Schwartzman, who is 7/10 up the road from him. Otherwise, Tictum will just eat him up. Marklev does not have a fast car. Ooh, Tictum got real close. He's got to fend him off for 7 laps. Come on, Markelov. You can do this, buddy. Every time with that corner, man. It's almost... Let's not have Monaco all over again, right? That Monaco meeting, I just... Every time struggled at 1 or 2 corners on the track. Of course, I'm just ass at Monaco, and it's fine. I can just admit that I am absolute garbage at Monaco. Another track limit warning, man. That almost was the fastest lap of the race again. But we went red in Sector 3. Sun is out, it is shining, track is dry. Sun's actually... Now with the improved graphics, by the way, sun's actually become a bit of a problem going down into turn 1. You kind of get glared a bit there. You know? Especially with the trees there, the shadow of the trees, it kind of fuck you up. Let's just check something real quick. Oh, we got another one. We got to ban yet another one. Slash ban a 10. No, thank you. Bot. Post, please. Thank you. The track limits again. You gotta be careful here. We're gonna be left with a little under an hour to do the sprint race, which I think will be fine. I believe the sprint race is only 22 laps, so. And I believe that, the featured race is obviously 40, so. It's interesting because they do a longer feature race in F2 in real life, but they don't do one sprint race. They have 2 sprint races. So. I'm wondering if, given that I'd imagine F2 is also going to be in the next edition of the game, F1 2022, I'm wondering if that's a change they make, or they just leave it as a feature race and sprint race. As I said time and again, I'd like to see that W Series and F3. I think it would be amazing, but I think we're going to be years from that. Not a bad final turn there. Not enough for the fastest lap though. A 10th off. Move the 8 seconds back. Markelov still in P4. He's hanging on. He's got 4 laps to defend his position from a Dan Tictum who looks like he's got the speed. Markelov actually though has pulled within a 10th or 2 of Robert Schwartzman, who's in third. What has happened to Mick Schumacher, by the way, who's not in the top 5? Schumacher qualified P3. Schwartzman P4. Markelov qualified P14. Tickton was pretty far down there as well, I believe. It might have been in the top 10 at least in terms of his qualifying position, but the big thing is that Mick Schumacher is not anywhere to be found in the top 5. Our championship rival Yuki Tsunoda, not anywhere to be found in the top 5. So this will be a huge step in the
We're leading our
drivers.
teammate by 10.6 seconds.
But also, if Markelov can bring home P4, it'll be another blow to Carlin. Carlin had a terrible result in Azerbaijan. Tsunoda scored points in the feature race. Failed to score any in the sprint. Daruvla's failed to score any in either. We built a 35-point advantage. We tacked on 35 more points in the advantage over. No, we tacked on 39 because of qualifying 4 points. We tacked on 39 over Carlin in Azerbaijan. Now we're looking to do the same. Now the sprint race as well, mind you, the top 8 are going to be reversed. So Markelov right now is on pace to start the sprint race in P5. Got our second track limit this morning, but we only got 2 laps left. Flow's almost broken the DRS of Schwartzman. 6/10. Markelov 6/10 back from him, and Ticktum is 2/10 back from him. 4/10, I should say, back from him. So. Go. This is the final lap of the feature race. I didn't have DRS once this race.
This is your final lap of the race.
Can Markelov hold on for one more lap is the question. Can our teammate bring home his first point of the season? Really help boost our chances of the Constructors' title. Do it. Schwartzman gets his first podium of the season. Big points for him and the Prima. No idea where Schumacher is. Daruvla gets a podium. I believe that's his second of the season. We get another win here. This time at Spielberg in Austria, feature race winner.
Jeff, I want a pizza, Jeff.
Give me my fucking pizza, Jeff.
Great job. You've done everything we wanted today.
Markelov's got to be driver of the day. I would imagine Markelov. No, it's Sean Galale. It was bottom of the championship, mind you. No idea where he finished, but I would have thought Markelov coming
It
from
wasn't
outside
always
the
plain
points
sailing today,
to
but
fourth.
a very important win nonetheless.
would have been worthy of driver of the day.
Tell me, Davide, what was the key to this success?
Thank you, Davide. So,
This is it. This is where they all want to be.
Robert
Here come the
Schwartzman
top three
third.
then, out onto
Jihan
the podium.
has second.
after a
We get another
fascinating
first. WT, big points. Big points this race for the team. So, that is the feature race in the books around Austria. That trophy's kind of nice. Let's check out the podium pass and then let's get to the standings. Right? Remember, raining because we started in the wet, mind you. We started on wet tires. This will be not enough to get us over the line, but we might be able to if we do the sprint race. So
then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Duchess increases their championship lead. And so, driver of the day then, Davide
Markelov
Valsecchi, who do you
qualified
think would go?
P7.
I have to give it to Sean Galeol. Consistency, good battles, sensible driving.
Sean
You can be
Galeo up
pleased with
7.
the
I would have given
performance
it to
today.
Jack
On
Aiken.
to the teams then.
He was
Meanwhile,
up
Prema
6.
have improved their position.
And
A strong weekend
he
for them
finished at
as
the
they
points
find
from
their
outside
way
the points.
to the top.
So,
After all this drama, you'll be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
Guan Yu Zhou, Louis Delatraz, DNF. And then Mazepin finishes bottom of the runners on 20th, Roy Nissani 19th for Trident. And Guilherme Samaya finishes 18th, down from 16th. Sonoda only up 1 position. He qualified P18. Only finishes in 17th. And then Pedro Piquet into Charouz down 6 from 10th into 16th place. Felipe Drogovic for MP Motorsport improves very well from 21st up to 15th. No points though. Lundgaard drops out of the points positions he qualified in for Mave down to 14th. Mick Schumacher tumbles from 3rd to 13th. Off the pit stops and everything else. That is terrible for him. He finishes without the points. Galil goes up to 12th. His best finish of the season for the Dams. Up from 19th. Marina Sato so close. So incredibly close for Trident to pick up their first points of the season, but he finishes just outside them in P11. Giotto goes up 2 to grab a point for High Tech. Marcus Armstrong finishes in the points after his P15th qualification. Nice recovery drive from him. He gets 2. Colin Milot 4 for the Uni Virtuosi with his 8th place finish. Jack Aiken jumps up 6 places to grab 6 points from 7th position. Nobuharu Matsushita finishes where he stood for MP Motorsport. 8 more points. The drivers really come alive in these last 2 tracks. Dan Ticktum up from 9th to 5th for 10 points. Our teammate scores his first points of the season, 12 for the BWT HWA race lap of Artem Markelov. Schwartzman gets his second podium with the Prima, 15 points from him. That's his first podium of the season. Daruva gets his second with a second place finish, 18 points. We get the fastest lap and the win. That's 27 for us. Markelov jumps up to 13th from 20th. That leaves just 6 drivers who haven't scored points. Roy Nissani at the bottom. Galil with his finish in the Dams, his highest finish of the season, will jump the Israeli driver to 21st. Christian Lundgaard down to 20th. Pedro Piquet down to 19th. Guilherme Samaya down to 18th. Marina Sato, the highest runners yet not to score points in the Trident. He's in 17th. Mazepin, the lowest of the drivers with points, 8th and 16th with 2. Drogovic is going to be on 4, despite picking up 2 points. He drops a position down to 15th. Louis Delatraz down to 14th, and a Charouz who has not picked up points in, I think, 2 or 3 races now. Markelov with his 12 points here. Leapfrog 7 positions up to 13th. Giotto's down to 12th with his 2 points for High Tech. Jack Aiken and the Campos will jump up to 11th after a strong finish for him. Guan Yu Zhou's DNF puts him down at the 10th for Uni Virtuosi. MP Motorsports Nobuharu Matsushita has put in very good performances here and in Baku. He's now on 35 points in 9th in the championship. Mick Schumacher down to 8th. He's been leapfrogged by his teammate Robert Schwartzman by a single point, who's on 45. Colin Eilert in the Uni Virtuosi jumps up to 6th as well. He leapfrogs Schumacher as well. Marcus Armstrong continues to slide down the standings. He's in 5th. for the Art on 49 points, now tied for Column Isla, but ahead on Countback because of Armstrong's podium. Dan Ticktum is up to 4th with 66 points. Jihan Darula remains in 3rd, now just 20 points back of his teammate Yuki Tsunoda in 2nd, who did not pick up points in this feature race, and we are now 126 clear of the field. For this Constructors, Trident still the only team yet to score down here in 11th, no points. Charuz is in 10th on 10 points. High Tech drop a position to 9th on 21 points. Campos is up 1 to 8th with 25. MP Motorsports continue to pick up good points. They now solidify themselves in 7th or 14th ahead of the Campos and 10 back of ART. The ART is at 6th. That's 49 points. Dans pick up more big points with Ticktum. They have 66 to solidify their 5th place spot. Universe Rossi drop behind Prima down to 79. Prima take a 10-point advantage over the 4th place rivals with 89, but they are way back from Carlin on 166, who are now 65 back from us. That is... Here's your full race weekends. We got the 4 points from qualifying, the fastest lap in the feature race. That's 2 more points. We get the 25 for the win. So we picked up 31 this weekend. Darula 18, Schwartzman 15, Markov 12, Ticktum 10, Matsushita 8, Aiken 6, Eilot 4, Armstrong 2, Giotto 1. Everyone else yet to score. So, time for the sprint race. Heavy rain to start. It's 28 laps, I beg your pardon.
We're returning after yesterday's feature race for the final event of the weekend, the sprint. Down on the grid below us, the drivers are spending their last few minutes getting ready. Very soon, they're going to kick this race off in dramatic fashion.
Piss and rain down this time.
I'm Alex Jakes, and alongside me in the dry confines of the commentary box,
Davide
former
Valsecchi.
2012 GP2 champion Davide Valsecchi. Tyre choice is important no matter what the conditions are, Davide, but do you see it having more significance today?
Oh, you know it will, Alex. Remember that in Formula 2 there are not intermediate tires, so deciding when to switch to the wet compound can have a massive impact on the race and your
To the
strategy.
dries, Davide, we're
Nothing
starting on
tests
the wets.
driver skill like the wet. I'm looking forward to see what they can do.
It is pissing rain down. So they expect it to take about 40 minutes. We're not going to be on the wets for the entire 28 laps. We are going to switch over. So it's obviously it's 5, 10, 15, 30, 45, 60, 90, 120. So 5, 10, right? Still heavy rain. 15 over light. 30 still light. 45 dry. So I would imagine I'm going to pin this around lap 15. I'm going to predict we're going to start to see a little bit of the dry weather. Certainly the rain's going to have tapered off by then, and maybe we'll go over to dry tires by 15. If not, it'll be very late in the race, like 20, 21, because obviously it's going to dry first with the rain stopping, and then the track will have to dry after that. So I think we're going to see the rain taper off around lap 15, and I don't think the track will dry to about 19 to 21. It didn't really dry very quickly in the feature race, so I don't expect it to dry very quickly here in the sprint race, and it's going to be even wetter in the sprint race. So we're starting P8, reverse grid, remember.
Launch map is good, but we need to learn the gears, so go into each one when you can. We're going to need some work on the brakes, so put some energy into them and warm the tyres as well, please.
Tires don't need to be warm, right? They are wets. They work at 39 degrees. You can see that. Look at that. 39 for the front left, and it's not kicking me a warning because it will work at that temperature. It is built for the cold. It is built for the heavy rain, and that's exactly what we've got to start this sprint race. 28 laps around Spielberg in Austria. Through all the gears for Jeff. It is going to be even worse handling. Question is, how is this going to be pace-wise? Because again, we're not really the quickest car in the wet. I'm not really the quickest driver in the wet either. So, you saw we were kind of struggling on a few laps to put time between us and this man in front of us, Jihan Daruvlaha. Now we're in P8 to start, remember, so we're trying to charge in front of the grid as well. Our teammate P5, it is Daruvla, it is Schwartzman, it is, or it's myself, Daruvla, Schwartzman, Markelov, then it is Tickdom ahead of us, and then I believe it's Nobuharu Matsushita, and I don't know who's on pole. I couldn't tell you who's on pole. It's indeed Matsushita ahead of us. Who is on pole is the question. I think Kolomai
The
line,
rest of the grid is forming up. Be patient and watch for the lights.
Rest of the grid's forming up. They're almost formed. We're almost ready to be underway here. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and away we go. We have a great start. We are already up on the outside of Schwartzman. Take them, mate. You can't be like that, bro. Take them going on wide to try and defend the position. We are going to get squeezed a little here.
No tyre concerns at the moment. Just focus on the driving.
We get a warning for a collision with
No issues with tyre wear for
Aiken.
now. Keep taking care of them.
But we are good. We didn't damage the car through all that. We are up to P4. So it's our teammate ahead. Our teammate's jumped 2 positions, by the way. He's in P3. He's in a podium. Our teammate is in a podium spot to start the sprint race. We're going to have to be the ones to take it off, sadly. But he is 1.3 seconds up the road. Oh, we fucked up that corner so bad. Aiken wants to have a go. But we nailed that one. Markelov P3. We're trying to gain on him. That wasn't a bad corner at all. Neither was that one. We are on his tail end. Is that the Shumi? Shumi with the raid. Hello, Shumi. How was your stream, Shu? We are racing in the absolute piss wet of Austria right now. But conditions are expected to improve. Hi, Shubani. Hi, Shumi. Get him, man. Get him. He's my teammate, man. I'm chasing down my teammate. He's... All right, so really good. Stream is good. Overtake him. I will. So I feel bad because our teammate's in front of us, right? Markelov, Artem Markelov. And he has not scored points all season. He just scored points in the feature race. And now we're going to have to be the ones to deny him his first podium here in the sprint race. If I can catch him. That's the big thing. If I can catch him. Thank God Shubi's over time to watch it. Oh my God, yeah, okay. Your teammate will learn the hard way. Well, you're gonna be like, yo, want some free wins? Yo, no. No free wins here. No team orders, but no free wins. We gotta catch him. The only big problem I have is I have absolutely no pace in the wet. Oh, Armstrong's out of the session. I don't know if it's a virtual safety car.
Has just been deployed due to a build-up of stopped cars on the track. Watch your pace.
Come on, lower the pace, Come on. Thank you. I'm surprised we didn't get a full safety car, to be honest with you. But, want to bet? No. Should we forget? Insta timeout those two when he comes to next stream. Yo, I got you. I got enough points that if you forget, I got you. It's all good. I'm going to have no points because I'm literally going to wind up timing out everybody in the chat.
Virtual safety car is ending. Maintain your pace until the green flag. VSC ending, wait for green. There's been
And
an
green, green,
incident
green,
on
green, green.
track, but officials
green.
aren't looking to push for a safety
I
car right
ran
now.
it so
Just
wide.
be careful.
I fucked up the
The track
restart.
is clear. Green flag.
I didn't even get timed out yesterday, buddy. It's okay. God damn it, Dosu. What the fuck, man? I blame Booters because we all established that he doesn't mod. JK, we love Booters. Oh no! Aiken's going for a dive on the inside.
Caution, caution.
Another yellow flag. There's a spin ahead. There's a car spun ahead. Who is that off the side of the road? Oh, that's Armstrong. He's already out. He's already out of the race. He's had a mechanical failure. Aiken's going to have another go, I think, and this time he's trying on the inside, but I think we cut him off, but I slid the tires, so. Don't worry, Benny. If you run out of points, I'm going to do the timeouts. Are you on wets or no? I'm on wets, yeah. There's no, Formula 2, there's no intermediate tire. So it's either full wets or dries. You don't get anything in between. Now it is absolutely heavy rain, so like you can see with the puddles and the standing water that this was going to be a race on full wets anyway, right? But the weather is expected to improve as the race goes along. So I'm just absolutely garbage at the wet, so I'm trying to chase down my teammate. We won the feature race. And Yuki Tsunoda, our championship rival, finished P16, so he didn't score any points. And Markelov, our teammate, scored the first points of his first points of the season. So our team, BWT HWA Race Lab, picked up massive points from our rivals, Carlin, and the team, the Constructors Championship as well. So yeah, all full wets. The freaking feature race was started on the wets too. The feature race was 40 laps, and the first like 21 of them were on the wet. Thank you for the follow. I don't know how to say it. Is Shumi behind you or in front of you? Shumi is, I think, behind me. He didn't have a good race. Yeah, Shumi is behind me. So Mick Schumacher is behind me. He qualified P3 for the feature race, but he picked the absolute worst lap to switch over to dry tires, and he dropped down to P16. And he fought it back to P13 in the end. But he didn't score points either. He's actually down to like 9th in the championship. I just slid the tires. So Aiken's going to be hungry. Shumi is a famous racer. Yeah, Shumi is a famous racer. That's what they call Schumacher. They call Schumacher, especially his dad, by the way, Michael Schumacher, the very famous Formula 1 driver who won 7 world titles. They call him Schumi for short, but they spell it S-C-H-U-M-I. They don't call it They don't spell it like the goat, like the OG Schumi. I want to have a go at Markelov here, but I am way wide. I'm surprised I didn't get a track limit this morning for that. But I just don't have the speed on the straight, man. I'm in the slipstream. We might go for a dive. We are going to go for a dive on Markelov, and our teammate is just going to get the run out the corner. Okay. I don't think I'm going to be close enough to have a go at him down into turn 3 here. Aiken, this is the only problem. You can see the arrows towards the bottom of my car. That's the indicator to how close the car behind is. And the more you fight, the slower you make it, the slower you become. So me fighting Markelov has brought Aiken into the equation. He's probably going to have a run. I'm going to go a little to the right here to try and cut off any inside line that he wants to dive down here into turn 5, but he doesn't. So what wheel do we have? I have the Logitech G920. So that's what I have. So not the Fanatec. I really want to get a Fanatec, but they're like $2,000. And I'm like, yeah, I probably want to replace the laptop since it's 3 years old before I replace the Fanatec, or before I upgrade to the Fanatec. But the G920 is not bad. 370 bucks, and it's done the job so far. I can really get close to Markelov here. I kind of have to watch. Yeah, I'm going to get a track limit warning for that. It's okay. but he's got so much straight line speed. My only thing is
Ilott
Ilott,
has just put up the fastest lap of the race so far.
as Jeff, our race engineer, said, Ilott just put up the fastest rate, and that was like a 26, what, 8, 26.7? So he's lapping just as quick as we are. Oh, you have the same wheel? Nice. It is a really nice wheel. I do like it. For the price, I don't think you can beat it, you know? Oh, are we going to have a late dive? There's no way. I got to pull out of this. I'm going to rewind because I'm not going to take a track limit warning I'm not going to take a track limit warning for an overtake I can't make that I know I'm going to pull out of. I'm just going to play it cautious here. Oh, I'm right on his gearbox, but look at the, why is he just, he's got so much straight line speed. I'm just not that quick. At least out of the blocks, man. I'm like anti-Usain Bolt. I just smacked my wing. And I got another track limit warning.
No need to worry about tyre condition for now.
So I didn't take any
Everything's
damage to
looking
the wing. But I can't take a track limit of warning again. We're gonna go for, I don't think I got the wrong one, no. Damn it. I had to bail out of that because if I had stuck my foot on the accelerator, I would have taken the third track limit warning, and that would have been a 3-second time penalty. And that brings Aiken, Darubla, that brings all them into the equation now. So I got to keep it within the track, but also find speed. I mean, that was a 127.4 that lap, and Ilott just did a 26.6. I fucking just rammed my rear right in, rammed my wing right into Markelov's rear. The objective is not to physically clap cheeks. That hurts your car. Oh man, I do not have the straight line speed right now. Aiken's gonna have a look here, I think. He's close. He's within 4/10. I'm pretty good under braking. That's lucky not to be a track limit warning. I didn't really take. I think you need to go into two on those corners. You mean second gear? It's possible. The only problem is you have a lot of wheel spin at second gear, and it is a dry setup because the track is supposed to be dry. You see the rain isn't as heavy. You can even see how much kind of like lighter it's gotten. So the clouds are starting to break. Like the track is going to dry up here pretty soon, and then we'll be quick. But the question is, I mean, look at the delta in the top left between Matsushita and Markelov, right? Matsushita is 4.6 up the road, and Markelov is 0.8 seconds. So the fighting with Markelov that I've been doing has literally put Matsushita at an arm's length. So
10 minutes left of this rain, then we think it's going to dry up. 10 minutes.
10 minutes would put us about 5 or 6 more laps. So my original prediction was we were going to see the rain stop around lap 15 and the track probably dries around 21. But according to Jeff, that would put it probably around like 14. I just can't get. He's going to just speed ahead away from me. But I'm getting closer. The problem I have is turns 9 and 10 I'm getting, which are the last 2 turns on the track, by the way. I'm getting good pace on him. Oh, I had to keep the boundaries there. That was a terrible corner, but I slid the rear. It's just so hard to go heavy on the brakes in that turn because of the downhill. Kind of, the rear tires don't really grip as well because of the sudden elevation change. This might be it. This could be it here. We're going to go for it. We're going to go for the bomb. We got it. That's P3. That is 3rd position. Dove, our teammate. We deny him a podium right now. But that is P3.
Just put up the fastest lap of the race
And
so
we've
far.
put in the fastest lap, 1:26.1. That's 2/10 on Ilott. But now we have the task of trying to chase down Matsushita, who is well up the road. And we're on a drying track, so we have to watch not only the delta and trying to catch Matsushita, but also when are we going to come in for dry tires? Like, it's still drizzling, it's still raining, the sun's coming out though. It's pretty bright. And that's my only... This turn I'm just ass at. I'm just terrible at that turn. I can't get it to a point where the tires aren't sliding at some point when the turn in. Like, I either have to really overbrake. Mainly, that's the only way I can take that turn cleanly, is just overbrake it. But I lose a lot of time there. It's a tough turn. It's a tough turn in the wet with it being a little bit off camber. We've cut 8 tenths, 7 tenths out of the time of Matsushita. So, this is race 5, by the way, of the 12 race calendar on the season, at least for the F2 season.
That was the fastest
Bam,
lap of the
that
race.
is a quick
Keep
lap,
this up.
125.0. Now, you remember, it shows you how much we were held up behind Markelov, right? Because we were putting in 26.8s, and Ilot was putting in 26.6s. And now that we're actually out of the way of Markelov, or at least he's out of the way of us, we're putting in 25s. So there it is, that slide. It's not that bad that time. I got a little bit more turn in before the rear tires slid on me, so I'm not losing as much time. But I really seem to make it up here on this this left-right combo, or this double left, I should say. There and here. This turns 5, 6, and 7, and then there's 9 right here. You have to be careful with the pit lane entry too. That's going to be, it's part of the racing line here at Austria, and you have to make sure that you stay within one side of it when you're coming into the pits. So pitting is going to be tricky. Just want to click snooze. There you go. Good. The AI aren't set to the toughest, but they're set pretty high up there. I think they're on hard. I don't think they're on expert, but I think they're on hard. Or they might be on expert, actually. So, I don't know. I didn't have a ton of pace over them at the opening track of the season, which was Bahrain. I think I out-qualified them by 5 tenths, 4 tenths, something like that. But here in the dry, qualifying here was in the dry. It was only been the races that were in the wet. But here in the dry at Austria and at the previous race at Baku, we were very, very quick. Very much quicker. I mean, and that might be because we've been nailing all the practice programs. But they don't really give you, at least they don't tell you what they nailed. Soft, if you have probably the best ones you can do. Yeah, I don't have a new set of hards because you only get, oh, that was a terrible turn. You only get an allocated amount, so we used obviously a set of hards in the practice, and we used a set of hards in the feature races. We did about 19 laps on them, so well, in the dry. So we used I used the second set of hards there. I think I might have one more set, but we qualified on softs, and I know we have another pair of softs for sure. What was originally going to be the softs for the feature race had it not rained, but I think if it is going to dry, even if it dries around like 17, I still think softs are going to be the best decision here. If it was drying now, I'd say, like if it was something where we had to make the decision now, I would say it's a bit more difficult. But I think by the time the track actually dries, we'll be in soft territory. In fact, I'm going to set that.
Roger that. Soft tyres at the next pit stop.
Yeah, soft tires for the next pit stop because that pit stop will be switching over. We usually don't get a pit stop in a sprint race.
A new strategy is available on the MFD.
He wants me to change now.
Understood. Copy that.
And there they go. Matsushita, everybody's coming in. Everybody's coming in for the pitch stop, so. I put on the limiter too early. I put the limiter on too early. Markelov has stayed out, by the way, and he's got no choice. He doesn't want to stack in the pits. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to be waiting in the pit behind us while we pit. So he's had to go another lap. I'm holding the clutch, mate. I'm holding the
Exit
clutch.
now. You'll be racing as you leave the pits. Go, go, go.
Thank you. We'll be racing as we leave the pits. We're not going to leave the pits in a great position. I know that. They put their hearts on. I told them to put the
Look
softs
after
on.
these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
Oh, I'm so mad, bro. I asked them to put the softs on. They put the hard compound tire on. DRS is enabled. Thank you for the follow, Mystic Chris, by the way. So we're on the hards. Everybody else is in the hards. We've come out in P10, mind you, but there is one car, at least one car ahead of us, that has not pitted, and that is Markelov. So Markelov's chances of a points finish could be well and truly shot, but we're behind everybody. Sato, Aiken, Daruvla. Those are the next three cars in line, and the track is still a little slippery. Now,
Artem is coming in for his
Artem's
stop.
coming in for the pits, so Markelov's in the pits right now. This is going to be this has got to be a hell of a charge. It's going to have to be a heck of a charge. And I'm going to have to watch my car, make sure I don't extend it because I'm on my final warning. That's the other danger is another track extension limit, and I have a 3-second time penalty. And then, of course, the three cars in front of me, it's just DRS train. So Schwartzman behind me does not have DRS, which is to our benefit, obviously, but it's going to be hard to catch the cars in front because they all have it. As is really, honestly, much of the case in Formula 2. Yeah, that's a big gain. I think we're going to swing. Can we get the switch back? I might have to just dive Sato here. We're going for it. The dive with the inside of Sato, and that is P9. No, that's P6, I'm sorry. Matsushita, quickest lap though.
Nice work. That brings you up a place.
That's us with the quickest lap, but it's not much quicker than Aiken, who I think just put in a tenth slower. That was about as much as that inside curve as we could have gotten away with. Click snooze one more time.
Sonoda has just set the fastest lap of the race.
Now it's Shumi's 121.0. That is a very good lap. But they're even going to get quicker. 1:16.7, I think, was about their pace in the dry. We do not have DRS. Sato does. But we're within range for the front straight. Ula is ahead of Aiken. And I can't tell who's in third. Maybe Kolomailot? I think Kolomailat's third. It could be our teammate Markelov actually who's come out third. I don't think we're close enough to bomb Aiken, so we're just gonna have to take that turn very terribly. Try to get a run on him down the front straight here. Slipstream. He's going for the outside protection. I got the fastest lap. I dive on the inside. Can we make the move stick? No. We can't. I should have downshifted to third, but it's okay. We'll have more time. We're going for the dive bomb. We're going for the dive bomb. And I think he's just maintained the position. But big thing, he does not have DRS. We do. So we are right on his gearbox. We go on the outside, and this should be the move this time. Oh, he's run us pretty wide there. Oh, we're 3 wide. We're 3 wide, and Sato's through. So we get the move done on Aiken, but we're still 6 because Sato overtook both of us. Fuck you know. We're going to just dive up on the inside of Sato, though, and that's finally, nervously, P5 through. I don't know how some of us didn't collide with 3 wide through some of those turns. That is some nervy stuff. But we are P5, and we've got Darula up the road, and indeed it is Markelov in P3. He's back in the podium spot, by the way. So we denied him P3 earlier when it was in the wet. We're going to have to do it again. He's looking for his first podium of the season. Darula is looking for his third. And he's trying to get Carlin some points back. Sonoda, despite showing some pace, is way down the order. I couldn't tell you who's second and first. I'd imagine Ticketon is up there because he was P3 with the reverse grid start, and I want to say Kolomailat might be leading the race. Although I don't know where Matsushita is. He was in the mix as well, so I kind of don't know what's. Somebody's had to have lost it, and I don't know who that was. We're gaining on Darula here. We'll have DRS him up down the straight. He will not have it on Markelov. He's outside of a second, so. Ooh, if I don't bin it, that curve is a little tricky. Had to save that car. The straight's not going to be long enough.
Keep this
The
up.
straight is not going to be long enough for me to catch Darula, but I'm going to get awfully close. And I'm going to get another DRS. And this part of the track might be long enough. Carlin on the back, but the dive on the inside. And we are by Jihan Darula for P4. Matsushita's second. He's 7.8 up the road. I might not catch him. I should catch Markelov here. He's only 1.2. I can see him right ahead, obviously, but I don't think I'm going to catch Matsushita. That's a lot of time we just gained on Markelov there through these turns. These 2 turns seem to be our strongest turns all race weekend, and we almost got our 3-second time penalty. I always have to be careful that curve because it will take the car. Here's DRS. Straight's not going to be long enough again, so.
Great work. That's a new
fastest lap
of the
though.
race.
I should get him here. I should get Markelov here. He's going for the inside. I'm going for it as well. I've overshot everything though. He drove me so deep inside. He's got DRS on it as well. Shit. He is trying. He's going to try for the inside now. He's got DRS. Ah, he's just got the position back. Fair play, Markelov. I got the speed. I can't look on the inside of him there. Just he'll take my wing off. Oh, I am gonna look at the inside down here to turn 9 though, and that is a dive bomb, and that is P3 solidified. So podium place. It is Colin Milan in the lead. 8.3 up the road. We have 11 laps. No, beg your pardon. We have 9 laps remaining. Update from Jeff.
P3, you are currently in P3. Matsushita is ahead of you. Gap to car in front is 7.0 seconds. They're on fresh hards. R10 behind, less than a second separate you. They're on fresh hards. Okay, gap to leader, 8.2 seconds. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. 9 laps to go.
9 laps to go. Click snooze one last time and I'm out of snoozes. That's the only problem. 9 laps to go. Not the best. Still 6 seconds ahead is Matsushita. Such a large gap. That's the only problem. It is, I think, in all honesty, I honestly think we could probably catch Matsushita, but I think Eilot's probably too far gone. And if I'm all honest, I think Matsushita's not out of the equation.
Good
Eilot,
job. That was the fastest lap of the race so
by the
far.
time we're done fighting Matsushita, he's probably out of the equation. In all honesty, so we'll see what we can do. I mean, we got to give it a go. We just won points. The big thing is our championship rival, Sonoda. He's not in the top 5. He didn't score points in the feature race either. Although I think top 8 here and the sprint race is going to score points. But he's not in the top 5. And we're running 3 and 4 ahead of both of the Carlin. So we have a chance to widen that gap even further with constructors. So I already know I'm in a good place to win the drivers here for the F2 season. Remember, the goal of the driver of career down here in F2 is to race well enough to get picked up by a Formula 1 team. I think we've done that in the 5 rounds so far this season. But I would also like to add a Constructors Championship to that in F2 here. And if Markelov can hold on to
Okay,
fourth,
you're catching the car ahead, but remember we need to get to
I
the end of
think
the race on
we're
these
gonna be in a good
tyres.
position
Gap to teammate behind
to do
is
so.
2.8 seconds.
we're catching Matsushita. He's 3.9. Speaking of tire wear, we're fine. 17%. We're totally fine. I put like 20 between the outlap. Oh, big lag spike there. Sorry. Between the outlaps and the in-laps, I want to say I put like 21 laps on the tires, and they were at like 50%. So the fact that we're only coming out for, what was it, 15 laps, these tires are going to be fine. No matter how hard I race them, really. I can see the 2 cars in the distance now. 7 to go, 6 to go this time by. And another fast. We broke the 116. Our qualifying lap was a 115, mind you. I think it was a 115.5, 115.6, I want to say. I think that was our qualifying lap. Granted, that was on the soft compound tire. We're on the hards, so not as much grip on the hards. We're not gonna really break the 115.5 115s. In fact, we were lucky to break, in the practice session, we were lucky to break the 116s on the hards. We had, I think, 5 laps of fuel left, which is kind of probably about where we're at right now, actually, in all retrospect. But I got 1.3 plus 1.3 laps, so if we got 6 laps, we got about 7 laps of fuel on board. And obviously that makes a difference because the more fuel you have on the car, the heavier the car is, the slower the car is. So, unlike in Formula 1 where you can edit how much, you can adjust how much fuel is on the car going into a race, Formula 2, all the fuel is regulated. So the amount that you're allowed to put on the car is regulated prior to the race start. We are in DRS range of Matsushita, and we've got 5 to go, so we might actually be able to pull this one off. There's DRS. Matsushita's not going to have it on I-lot. We're not going to catch Matsushita down the straight, obviously. We're just trying to put time. Wasn't really a great straight for me. I was all over the place. Here is DRS number 2. There's 3 sections around this track for DRS. So let's see if we can get them. I can't dive in there. I'll lose my front wing if I dive in there. That's the only problem. Should have to run. Might be able to dive going into 9. He's got a lot of straight line speed to dive. We're going to have to make it stick through 10, and that is P2.
Brilliant. Nice move.
It's time for column I-lot. It's time for column I-lot. We want column I-lot now. Oh, man. I'm seeing if I can get him. 1.9 up the road is pretty... Woo, took a wheel in the grass there. Not what we intended. I'm having a lag spike, bro. And I don't know why I'm having a lag spike. Let me see if I can drop this. Let me drop it there. There we go. Tell you what, let me take 1 quick minute break. No, there we go. As I said that, to try and figure out the lag, it dissipates. Okay, fair enough. It hasn't been too bad tonight. I just had a massive spike there, so apologies. We are trying to catch Column. We've got 4 laps to go. 3 this time by. We don't have DRS on. We might get it on the next straight. We might.
This pace is strong, but be aware your tyres need to go the distance.
Jeff, stop worrying about the tires, mate. What are you talking about, mate? What do you want about me? Broken DRS from Matsushita as well, I believe, so that's fine. We're good there. He won't gain on us. Markelov remaining in 4th. He's not going to chase down Matsushita. There's like 5 seconds between them. So we have genuinely denied our teammate his first podium in Formula 2, by the way. Like, we have been a bit of a dick to get the victory, or at least to fight for the victory. There is 3 to go. But he didn't score points at all in the first opening 4 rounds. So 8 races, 4 qualifying sessions. No points. No points for Markov. He comes in last race. He finishes P4? Instantly jumps to like 13th in the championship. and we're 12th in a championship, something like we're 15th. He leapfrogged quite a few people in the championship, and he hasn't. Now he wanted his first podium. And we're gonna be the guy. His teammate is gonna be the guy that denies him his opening podium, or his first podium in Formula 2. We are right on the bumper of Isla now. This might not be the straight, but we're running out of time. We only have 2 laps. I think we can get him though within these next 2 laps. I don't think I'm going to be able to bomb him here. He went. That's a really good defensive move, actually. Because I couldn't go inside, I couldn't go outside. But maybe with this I can go. He's going inside. I'm going way inside. He's pushed me really, really to the inside. Maybe. And we got the move done. That is the lead with a lap and a half to go here. That is P1. I didn't think we were going to get him. I didn't think we were going to catch Ilon at all, whatsoever. But we got the move done. And most importantly, he's going to have that DRS down the straight, though. Watch the delta to the top left.
Final lap of the race.
He is gaining
our teammate by 7.6 seconds.
He's going to have it down this long straight too. That's the only problem, is he has got DRS down this main straight. Is he going to have enough track to catch up? I don't think so. He's not going to really be able to bomb me. He's too far back. He's going to have it again here. Markelov is fighting Darula for P4. Come on, Markelov, stay in P4, man. Don't lose another position, mate. I know the Carlin's a better car, like technically, but nope. Darula's got the move done. Darula has passed our teammate from P4. Our teammate now in P5, so Carlin more points, but I think it's fine. We are going to finish ahead of Isla. We have come from P8 to win the sprint race here in Austria in the wet. We moved up to P5 after the first lap. We got there in the end with 1 lap to 2 laps to go.
Jeff, I want a pizza, Jeff.
We get the win. We want the pizza, Jeff. And it's the sprint race victory.
Awesome. Just amazing.
That is
Well
another big race for us. We're going to get driver of the day as well. Nicely done. That's top spot on the podium.
A nearly flawless performance here then, and a commanding
Get that pizza.
victory.
Jack, it's Jeff. His name's Jeff. What are you calling him Jack for?
Davide, what do you think made the difference here?
Let's listen to Davide. Riveting stuff, Davide. But there it is. And that is Prestige 1 in the podium pass too, I believe. So give me that Prestige. Bam, Prestige level 1. I'll take it. We got a lot more racing to do. I mean, Jeff, nice race, Jeff. Thank you. It's very
And
very
now
tricky.
let's take a look at the driver's standings. Duchess increases their championship lead. Now
Okay.
then, Davide Valsecchi, who would you say was your driver of the day?
Look at where they finished compared to where they started. It's not
He always
easy
says
to
the
cut
same
through
shit
the field like
whenever
that
we
in
win
Formula
driver of the
2.
day.
So
Whatever,
it
bro.
was a great
I mean, look at how heavy
Now
it
a
was
look
raining
at the
at the
team
start, by the way.
standings. There was also a strong showing from the MP Motorsport
Yes.
team today.
Oh,
as they
MP's
make their
improved.
way.
So,
up
well, let's go over to
standings.
the
Well,
results
what
of
a
the
weekend
standings,
that
right?
has been. Please join us next time for another thrilling installment when Formula 2 returns.
Armstrong DNFs here. So Armstrong, 2 podiums in his opening 3 races, all 3 points finishes. Since then, he's got absolutely nothing. He's going to continue to fly down the standings with a DNF here in the sprint race. Ticktum, who was started P4, what happened to him? He's down in P21 to finish. Roy Desani P20. Mick Schumacher, we talked about Schumi. We talked about in the feature race, by the way, Schumacher's qualified P3. And he finished in P13. He didn't have a good race, and he's had more of the same here. He's just been very unlucky. He's started P13 where he finished in the feature race, and he dropped even further down the standings into P19. Tsunoda drops 1 back to 18th from 17th. Not a great weekend for Tsunoda. Our championship rival scores no points all weekend long. Guan Yu Zhou gets up to 17th from his last place finish after his DNF for the feature race. Marina Sato almost scored points for Trident in the feature race. They're still without a point Trident. He finished in P11th. He drops 5 to P16. Mazepin improves 5 to P15. Guilherme Samaya finishes 14th for Campos, and then it's the two Charuzas of Pedro Piquet and Louis Delatres, who had a really good race actually. He finished up 9 from P21 to 12. Christian Lundgaard tried to get his first points of the season as well with the ART, but he finishes outside the top 10 in 11th. Drogovic for MP Motorsports in 10th. Sean Galil, this is his best finish of the season. He has his best finish of the season in a feature race where he finished 12th. And he's improved that again, now finishing 9th, but he still hasn't scored points for Dams. He's one of 6 drivers yet to score points in the championship this season. Lucas Giotto adds 1 to his 2 from the feature race to get 3 this weekend. He's got another one for High Tech. Robert Schwartzman drops 1 from 6th to 7th. He'll finish with 2 points. Jack Aiken drops 4 positions from his P2 start for 4 points. Markelov gets more points for BWT. That's 18 for him now. Tarugla up to 4th from 7th. Good drive from him. Nobuharu Matsushita in the MP Motorsport is doing wonders, by the way, with 4 straight points scoring finishes after really only picking up, I think, 2 or 3 points all season long previously. Kalamaila gets the Uni Virtuosi in 2nd, and then we finish on the top. So race results for the whole weekend. We scored 48. Daruvla scored 26. Markelov got 18. Matsushita 18, Schwartzman 17, Eilert 16, Ticktum 10, Aiken 10, Armstrong 2, Giotto 2, and all the rest failed to score. In the standings for the Drivers' Championship, it is Nissani who reclaims the bottom spot. For Trident, Sean Galil moves up to 21st, Christian Lundgaard down to 20th, PK down to 19th, Samaya down to 18th, Sato down to 17th. Mazepin goes up to 16th. Drogovic is 15th, Delatres 14th. Our teammate goes from 20th to 13th over the course of the weekend by picking up 18 points, his first of the season. Giotto down to 12th. He was P5 earlier in the season, mind you. So that's a pretty big drop. Aiken goes up to 11th. Zhou drops down to 10th. He was in, I believe, P6. But he had a DNF in the sprint race and he didn't score points in the feature race. Schumacher goes from P4 to P9 on 44 points. Matsushita, who was like down here, he had like 3 points. He was like 15th. He's now up to 8th. Schwartzman's up to 7th for Prima. Marcus Armstrong, who was 3rd after the opening 2 race weekends, after 5 rounds has dropped 3 positions down to 6th. Eilert's now up to 5th. Ticktum is up to 4th. Daruvla remains 2nd, but he's closed the gap to his teammate to 12 points. And then it's 143 up to us. So we are way far ahead in the drivers. In the constructors, Trident still yet to score points. Charuz is stuck on 10. They have been for the last 2 race weekends. High Tech is on 22 and 9. Campos is on 29 and 8. ART now drop a place because of Armstrong's misfortunes. They are on 49 points, but NP Motorsports are going to leapfrog them on countback now because of Matsushita's 2 podiums. So they're going to be up to 6. Dams is 5th. Uni Virtuosi is 4th. They're now tied on points with Prima, who are still ahead because of countback, but not by much, because now Uni Virtuosi have a 2nd place. So does Prima with Mick Schumacher, and I think Prima has 2 third places. Uni Virtuosi, I believe, only has 1. Or it might be that Prima has 3 and Uni Virtuosi have 2, but it's very close even on countback. Carlin is 83 ahead of the Prima on 174, and now the gap, which was only a single point going in round 4 at Baku, has now widened to 80 points between us and the Carlin. That is it. That's the end of the race. The next race, I believe, is Silverstone for round 6. The legendary track. It's hosted a Formula 1 race or at least Britain, I should say, has hosted a Formula 1 race every single year. Not necessarily, but Silverstone. It has been Donington Park previously, but nonetheless, it is a legendary track. Silverstone, and look at that. The feature race is going to be nothing but heavy rain. The entire race, unlike today, where part of it was in the wet, the entire feature race will be in wet conditions. Sprint race will be dry. Qualifying and practice will be dry. That is it for me. We will be back Thursday, probably with NASCAR Heat 4 and the Camping World Truck Series. we are going to be back with my team, by the way. Our Wolf's Angels FC save, which I believe is at Baku, actually. I think they're in Azerbaijan. Let's check that real quick. Career. Yes, Wolf's Angels here, which is a very difficult season, by the way. You can see we're in 16th, our teammates in 21st. The Azerbaijan weekend will be, that's practice 1, practice 2, practice 3, qualifying 1, qualifying 2, qualifying 3, and the full race, 100% race distance, which I think is like 56 laps. That will be probably on Saturday, so looking forward to that. So Azerbaijan on Saturday. We will come back with the F2 season next, probably Saturday as well. We'll do the Britain weekend for the F2, and then maybe Sunday we'll do the next race for the Wolf's Angels F1 team, which after Azerbaijan would be Austria. Actually, it would be Austria. It would be Spielberg. So yeah, that's probably the schedule, although we might not do this Sunday. We might wind up doing this Tuesday night. It depends. So I got a league race tomorrow night, so there will be no stream. I got a league race Friday, so there will be no stream on Friday as well. We can win the championship tomorrow night at Silverstone as well, so I'm really trying to hope we can do that. But nonetheless, that's it for me. Thank you to everybody that came by the way. Soups, Dosu, Shumi for the raid, Shumi's community for being so absolutely wonderful, Boomafu as well, he is a legend. Booters, love to see Booters, even though Butters is probably going to slap the shit out of me if we ever meet in person next time again. He's probably going to beat my ass. Alpha F1 as well. Thank you to everybody that followed as well. Mr. Chris, is that, I don't know even how you say that. EA Donini, I don't know. And of course, Alpha F1. We are going to find somebody to raid. Might as well keep the raid train going, right? Who are we gonna raid? Let's raid our wonderful friend, our co-commentator, mind you, in F1, the wonderful Fizzymon. He's playing New World, by the way, so you can totally make fun of him for playing New World and not F1. But we're gonna raid Fizzymon. Oh, he's got a subscriber. He's got a follower only chat. Really, Fizzy? Fizzy? We're gonna raid him anyway. Have a good night, everybody. We'll be back on Thursday, the next stream. Until then, take care.